Michael Harper sat in his dusty pickup truck watching the flashing lights fill his rearview mirror. His hands gripped the steering wheel as Officer Rachel Martinez approached his window. She was young, maybe early 30s, with kind eyes that seemed to soften when she saw his tired face. "License and registration, please." Michael fumbled through his glove box, his hands shaking slightly. He hadn't been speeding. He knew that. But lately everything seemed to be falling apart. "I'm sorry, officer," he said quietly, handing her his documents. "I didn't realize my taillight was out." Officer Martinez studied his license, then looked back at him. She noticed the dark circles under his eyes, the worry lines etched deep into his forehead. "Mr. Harper, I also clocked you going 15 over the speed limit back there. Are you all right?" Michael closed his eyes. No, he wasn't all right. His daughter Emma had been sick all week with a fever that wouldn't break. He'd missed 2 days of work at the construction site to stay home with her. Now he was rushing to the pharmacy before it closed to pick up her new prescription. "I'm sorry," he repeated. "My daughter, she's 7 and she's been really sick. I was just trying to get her medicine before the pharmacy closes." Rachel glanced at her, watched then back at Michael. She noticed something else too. The gold wedding band still on his left hand, despite the empty car seat in the back, meant for one child, not 2 parents. "Where's your wife, Mr. Harper?" The question hung in the air between them. Michael's jaw tightened, and for a moment Rachel thought he might not answer. "She passed away," he finally said, 2 years ago. "Cancer, now it's just me and Emma." Rachel felt her chest tighten. She'd been a police officer for 8 years, and she'd learned to keep her emotions in check, but something about this man, this father doing his best, broke through her professional wall. "I'm very sorry for your loss." She looked down at her ticket book, then back at him. "You know, if you weren't married, I'd be tempted to let you off with a warning and maybe even offer to help. But I see you're still wearing your ring." Michael looked down at his hand as if seeing the ring for the first time. "Yeah, I know. People tell me I should take it off, move on. But every time I try, I just can't. It feels like I'm betraying her memory, like I'm saying she didn't matter." Rachel understood more than he knew. Her own father had worn his wedding ring for 5 years after her mother died. She remembered being a teenager, frustrated with him for not dating, for not moving forward. Now, as an adult, she understood that grief doesn't follow a timeline. "Mr. Harper," she said gently, "I'm going to be honest with you. That ring tells me you're a man who honors his commitments, who loves deeply. But I'm going to guess your wife wouldn't want you carrying this weight alone forever." Michael's eyes filled with tears. Sarah was her name. "She made me promise before she died that I'd live, that I wouldn't just exist, but really live, that I'd find happiness again. But how do I do that when every morning I wake up and she's still gone?" Rachel handed him back his license and registration. No ticket in her other hand. "Listen," she said, "I'm letting you go with a warning about the tail light and the speed. Get it fixed and slow down, okay? But I want to tell you something my mom told my dad before she died. She said, love isn't a limited resource. Loving someone new doesn't diminish what you had. It honors it because she taught you how to love." Michael wiped his eyes. "Thank you, officer. Not just for the warning, but for understanding." Rachel pulled out a business card and wrote something on the back. "This is my personal number," she said. "I know a great mechanic who can fix your tail light cheap. And if you ever need someone to talk to about being a single parent, or just need a friend, well, I'm here." Michael took the card, surprised by her kindness. "You didn't have to do this." "Maybe not," Rachel smiled, "but I wanted to. My dad raised me alone, and I remember how hard it was for him. He needed people to show him grace. So that's what I'm doing. As Rachel walked back to her patrol car, Michael sat there staring at the card. Then he looked down at his wedding ring. Sarah's voice seemed to whisper in his memory. Live, Michael. Really live. He took a deep breath. And for the first time in 2 years, he gently slid the ring off his finger. He didn't throw it away. He placed it carefully in a small compartment in his wallet, right next to Emma's school picture. A week later, Michael's phone buzzed. It was a text from Rachel checking if he'd gotten his taillight fixed. He had. They started texting occasionally. She'd send him funny stories from her patrol. He'd send her pictures of Emma's latest drawings. 2 months passed before Michael finally asked her to coffee. They met at a small diner on a Saturday morning when Emma was at her grandmother's house. Rachel arrived in jeans and a sweater, looking nervous. I haven't done this in a while. Michael admitted dating. Rachel smiled. Me neither. They talked for 3 hours about everything and nothing, about loss and hope and the courage it takes to start again. When Michael got home that afternoon, he found Emma waiting at the door. Did you have fun, Daddy? I did, sweetie, he said, picking her up. I really did. And you know what? I think Mommy would be happy about that. Emma hugged him tight. I think so, too. She told me in my dream last night that it was okay to be happy again. Michael held his daughter close, feeling lighter than he had in years. Sometimes grace comes from unexpected places, from a police officer writing a ticket who chooses kindness instead, from the courage to take off a ring and make room for new love, from the wisdom of a 7-year-old who somehow understands what adults struggle to accept. Life goes on, and sometimes that's not a betrayal, it's a tribute. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories about hope, resilience, and the unexpected moments that change our lives. Leave a comment below about a time when someone showed you unexpected kindness. Your story might inspire someone else today.